Mark Broadie has changed the way we see golf. It is now about data analytics, just like Moneyball and baseball. We're applying the same strategy to golf. Before, when I was a kid, I would go out, play the game, love the game, have fun, and then I would train based on how I felt. Today, the game's changed. Today, we have stats. So it's more about what do the numbers tell us? Where am I good? Where am I bad? Where can I improve? And what mainly am I just gonna have to live with? In the end, it's about what you shoot. So this series is about how to go about that. How do we analyze the data? How do we look for the little things that can create the biggest improvement? How do we not waste time? How do we take advantage of every single minute? This is what I hope to explore. I want to see if a normal guy can really train efficiently to become the best amateur golfer possible. This series is about that. I'm going to deep dive into the numbers using Mark Broadie's book and try and figure out what is the best way to practice. There are 4 categories in golf that you need to pay attention to: off the tee, approach, short game, and putting. But not all of these 4 categories have the same weight. If you read the book, you'll understand that the main difference between elite players is not in the short distances, but rather in the long ones. I'm going to be very transparent in this video. Yes, I play well, but yes, I have a lot of areas to improve on. Again, I don't practice every day. I don't practice 5 hours a week. I practice when I can with the amount of time I have available. So I'm going to show you my up-game numbers, my TrackMan numbers, and through a different series of videos, hopefully you'll see how I progress with these numbers. Everything is going to be shot gain stats. So this way I can compare myself against the PGA Tour, which is the ultimate elite, and see if I'm getting better or worse. But the benchmark will always be the same. The idea is simple. Train in the 4 areas, but put more time into the areas that I know will make the biggest difference. If I look into the 4 areas, the first one is off the tee. Ironically, I'm very good at this. I have an average distance of about 300 yards, and I hit about 70% of the fairways. This, according to shots gained, is an actual positive number for the PGA Tour. So this is an area that I'll probably just routinely practice, but I won't spend too much time because right now I'm above average. Approach shots separate elite players from good players. I hit about 67% of greens in regulations. Anybody would say that's a pretty good number. But strokes gained doesn't reward hitting greens. Strokes gained rewards proximity to the hole. So the third section is short game. And while I always thought I was pretty good at chipping, what the data shows me is that I'm not really that good. My scrambling percentage is about 30% right now. So this is a very important area for me to focus on. The truth is, when I played around, I thought, oh, I missed a chip every now and then, and that would probably cost me a shot. But the stats say something different. I'm actually losing more than a shot a round. In tournament scenarios, this is the main difference between placing first or fifth. So finally, we got putting. And unfortunately, this is probably the worst area in my game currently. So on average, I'm losing about 2 shots per round. When I look at the numbers, what it tells me is that mainly my problem is lag putting. So from about 25 feet, I'm not leaving the ball within 3 feet the majority of the times. The good thing about this is it's all measurable. It's all stats. So I know if I can work on my lag putting, I have better opportunities at par. I'll make fewer mistakes. And when I really think about this, it ties back into point 2, which is approach. If I hit the ball a little bit closer, I'll have shorter putts, less misses, less 3 putts, and ideally it all starts to come together. So now we know the numbers. The game plan should be simple. We're going to keep driving, hitting drivers off the tee, making sure we keep that strokes gain momentum we have going. Approach. We're going to actually focus on long iron distance, which is what's costing me the most. So anything from about 160 to 200, we're going to try and close out the dispersion. We're going to get on the TrackMan Sim and do proximity drills, strokes gained from that distance, and see if we can land a lot of balls within a certain parameter. Short game, what are we going to do? So we clearly have a problem scrambling. What we're going to have to do is set up a circle or a chipping drill of where we want the ball to land and ideally end up. We're just going to spend some time chipping from different locations and visualizing where we want the ball to land and finally end up. Ideally, we want to put a circle around 3 to 4 feet and have the majority of the balls land within that circle. And then finally, putting. We need to work on the long lag putting drills. So basically anything from about 20, 25, 30 feet, put it inside a 3-foot circle. Give ourselves more opportunities to 2-putt, make par, and move on. Now that I know where my numbers are at, I know how I can train efficiently. So let's get at it.